New Mexico has allocated over $7 million in CARES Act funds to Las Cruces. City Grant and Contract Compliance Specialist Aaron Sherritt says Las Cruces requested about $13 million in CARES Act funds and additional money for small business grants.
For the city of Las Cruces, that means about $7.1 million for the New Mexico CARES Act, and for the small businesses, small business continuity grant, it's about $5.4 million. And those are much needed funds to assist with offsetting expenses already incurred related to FMLA leave, to keeping people employed with the city during these times, to sanitizing and cleaning, to ensuring public safety, numerous expenses associated with the pandemic.
Though the application did not include a detailed budget breakdown of exactly how funds will be allocated, Sherritt emphasized the money will not be used to fund new city endeavors. Though Sherritt said the city is thankful for the help, there just isn't enough to go around.
Look, there's always so much more need than there's funding for, so we're continuing to fight. That's a big gap.
It's a gap cities in New Mexico are experiencing at different levels. In Rio Rancho, a city slightly smaller than Las Cruces, the local government received just under $12 million in CARES Act funds, about $5 million more than Las Cruces. Henry Valdez, from New Mexico's Department of Finance and Administration, says it simply comes down to the fact that those who requested more received more. It's a theory that holds weight considering Rio Rancho's requested amount was a little over $22 million, compared to the Las Cruces request of about $13 million.
Those two in particular, there's no disparity in terms of the percentage. They both received 53.75%. The variation is purely just Rio Rancho applied for more money, and so they received more money based off of that percentage. And that's pretty much the only difference between those.
Sherritt, with the city of Las Cruces, said they based their request on the data they had on the city's incurred expenses. The city had 2.5 weeks to prepare the grant applications, but said it was a relatively easy process because it was based on pre-existing data.
There are some parts of the state that have been absolutely devastated, and in some ways, the requests were bigger in some of those areas in terms of the need. There were also some cities with applications that, because of how the funding was, the scores were weighted and distributed, simply by asking for more, they were awarded more. And so we based our request on the need, the real identified need in terms of what we have incurred as a city and anticipate incurring till the end of the year.
DFA's Henry Valdez stressed the application process was in no way a competition, stating the committee did not take any outside factors into account when reviewing the applications.
In terms of if local governments did better than others, I think that that's kind of implies that it was a bit of a competition. And we don't believe that it was a competition in any capacity. We scored the applicants based off of the information that they provided against the scoring criteria.
Ultimately, Valdez wanted to underscore the adversity cities all throughout New Mexico are facing.
No one is benefiting from this situation. Every community, every local government has been hit really hard and is facing budget deficits. So, this CARES Act award, there's definitely no one should be running victory laps with the money that they received over other local governments. Everyone is kind of is hurting in this situation.
For KRWG Public Media, I'm Madison Staten.